So one of my proudest moments came along 8 years ago, as I was named as one of the inaugural Grammy Music Educator Award nominees. The initial pool of nominees had well over 30,000 notable and esteemed music educators from across the country. I was humbled and honored to have been included amongst all of them, but then to have been named as one of the 219 quarterfinalists and eventually being announced as one of the 25 semifinalists was unbelievable to me. The inclusion placed a spotlight upon me, my work, and enabled me to embrace the motto, which is that it takes a village, because I received so much support and encouragement as I navigated my experience that year. And I'm truly humbled that I have the ability to list the honor on my professional resume and to hear my name uttered in the same sentence as Grammy nominee for the rest of my life. That is truly amazing for any musician in this world. Who would ever have thought that a little over a year ago that we would have to learn how to pivot in so many different ways as teachers? As an educator, I found myself trying to do my best to implement differential teaching strategies to satisfy the needs of each of my students as learners and musicians. I had to spend a great deal more time preparing my daily and weekly lessons and dividing my attention between those who were in person and the others who opted to remain at home. We were never taught how to be two teachers within the same body, but that's how all this has gone. My students and I gained a better understanding of their individual learning styles because we had to discover what was the best means for them to learn under and within these conditions, and came to understand that in order to learn and make music during the pandemic, then they had to rely upon one or more multiple modes of learning, whether that was visual, auditory, or kinesthetic methods. I had to figure out that for myself and within each of them as well. Technology has been the bridge through the divide, whether creating visual aids, audio recordings, or literally moving while doing what we do. Whatever it takes, I've learned that I have to be flexible in my delivery, and of course my students and I have had to learn how to be patient and kind to ourselves, because at the end of the day, all of this has been beyond our control, but we just had to be willing to roll with it all and to just do our best and to not beat ourselves up for the things that didn't go the way we expected, because throughout this last year, we didn't know exactly what may or may not happen each day. Thankfully, the end result for us has been that we have continued to sing, play, and make music even while our discipline has been considered to be a higher risk for spread during the pandemic. I have to say that when the initial group of in-person students came back and sang, but not just by themselves, but in harmony, I literally almost lost it. It was very emotional for me to hear, and I discovered almost a year into this that I was thankfully still able to reach them, even though we had been separated and connecting remotely for the majority of the last year and a half. It is my highest priority, and that for all of us as educators, to create and encourage an inclusive learning environment. I strive to program pieces that challenge all of us musically, intellectually, and as individuals. And I have always aimed to be respectful of each individual and what they bring to my classroom and my ensembles, and make every effort to get to know my students and for each of them to get to know each other and create a sense of community within Room 158. I focus on essential humanistic skills like respect, trust, tolerance, understanding, and empathy so that they develop an expectation of the same within themselves and from those around them. What I teach is performance-based, so participation from everyone and allowance for the students to tell me what is and is not working is commonplace. And by doing all of these things, I have built a solid and rigorous musical program in my school. It is my goal to impart skills that will serve my students for the rest of their lives, and in so doing, it is my hope that they will have musical memories that will remain with them forever.